Hey guys, Chauncey Phillips here with my brand new video. This video is going to be all about the movies that I have acted in. People have asked me to do a new video on this, talking about all the films that I have acted in. There are some of them that I don't have copies of. There's like a handful of them. Some things that are still coming out, a bunch of stuff in the works that I have yet to shoot and all that kind of stuff. So this is like, as of right now, the stuff that is available. And with these kind of ones, some of them are available on Amazon. Some of them are available like on streaming. You guys can rent them on Vudu. You guys can also, some of them are also available free to watch on Tubi and some of the things like Amazon Prime. So all these ones, I'm going to have like the list of them below, and you guys can like search any specific ones that you guys were curious about, and if you guys want to pick up a copy or any of that kind of stuff too. If you do end up, renting any of them or watching any of them or picking up copies, let me know in the comments below too, what you guys thought of them, or if you guys have seen any of them already too, let me know what you guys thought of them as well. But on to the video showing all the films, at least all the ones that I own, that I have acted in. Alright, so we're pretty much just going to go through these ones, and I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about them, like what I did in the movies, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to go through all these ones here, and I've been acting since 2008 was when I did the first movie that I did, which was Banshee, and these are in no particular order, so I'm just, like I said, just going to pretty much just go through them, talk to you guys a little bit about them. The first one here is Ghostquake. Now this one, I'm going to show you guys the other edition of this one that's available as well in a second. This particular version is out of print. But if you guys want to see this one, this is the movie that I was in with Danny Trejo. I was one of the main characters in this one. It's basically about a group of these kids, all like kind of planning for the high school, prom kind of dance. And my character, though, is forced by the one bully at the school to go and like break in the school at night to kind of change the test grades and everything. And at the school, though, the one kid like messed around with these coins and ended up bringing back like the spirit of the old evil headmaster of the school. And it's like my character with like the other guys that we broke in the school with, kind of trying to, deal with what's happening and deal with being trapped in this school with the crazy MC Gainey playing the crazy headmaster. MC Gainey was in like stuff like Con Air and in the one we break down, I always loved him in, and he was also in Sideways, like lots and lots of stuff. But this is a really fun movie. This is a movie that was made for the Sci-Fi Channel, a Sci-Fi original. But this DVD, if you guys can find this particular version, this one has the uncut version. The version I'm going to show you a little later, that one has the one that's like edited a little bit, so it edits out some of the gore and stuff. The next one here, and this one, like I said, this is out of print, this particular version, but you can find it on like Amazon and all that kind of stuff. eBay. The next one here is a zombie film here called Virus of the Dead. This one was actually filmed in this room. This was one because many of these ones were stuff where some of them like I shot scenes and stuff for them and like sent the files in and stuff to the director and the producers and all that kind of stuff. This one though was a zombie movie, like an anthology zombie film, all about like, it was done like found footage style, and it's just kind of like about all this kind of stuff during a zombie outbreak, and my character, is hiding from the zombies in the DVD and Blu-ray room, and I go in there with like a small amount of water, and it's like kind of me like trying to survive in there and stuff like that. And this is, produced by Tony Newton, who I've done a bunch of different projects for. The next one here is one of the ones, and this one was actually available in Walmart when this came out, called Disaster Wars. This is one that's produced by David Sterling, and this was like an end of the world, disaster movie. What is this loose in here? I think this must have been like another copy in there. Yeah, like a screener copy of it before I had the real one. But this is basically like an end of the world kind of like disaster movie, and my character like works at kind of like the weather station or something, and it's kind of like me, I think I was like trying to like stop it. This is back when it was really heavy, but I was kind of like it was like just really kind of goofy what I was doing in it, but it's like a cool like end of the world kind of movie. This one here, Gangsters Incorporated. This one had a different title. I can't remember what the other title was on this one. This one stars Joe Estevez and Mel Novak, and like my character is like helping the main guy, and it was all that's one where I shot the stuff for it, and it was like I was kind of telling him, like, kind of setting up for, like, his next mission and stuff like that in the movie. But it was a lot of stuff near the end of the movie. This one is from director Chris LaMartina. This was, like, a movie that he did, was done in the style of, like, an old TV broadcast of, like, this show like a TV broadcast of the show. It played on Halloween night when like something bad happened. And in this one, I did like the voice in the commercial, like the dog commercial in this one. This one here, I only have this edition, so I can't, it's hard to watch this one because I don't have a 3D TV anymore. But this was Porkchop 3D. This is one I filmed something for. I think I filmed like the opening scene, like the introduction to the movie. This one is from director Ron Carlson, who also directed right after this movie a couple years later, Dead Ant. And this one is called All American Christmas Carol. This one has a really great cast. It has Taryn Manning, Eric Roberts, Beverly D'Angelo, Meatloaf, Wendy McKeldin Covey from the Goldbergs in this movie. Lynn Shay is in the film. And this one, it's basically, I have a real quick little thing in here. The one character whose name is Tiny, I play his friend in the movie, and I'm kind of like encouraging him to that he can like eat something or something like that in the movie. I originally was actually going to play a different role in this movie, and then like a whole lot of stuff changed with the casting on that one, but still was a fun movie to do. 60 Seconds to Die 2. This one, me and Danny the Center Stalker have a segment in this one. This is like every it's basically with, each horror segment is 60 seconds long, and within 60 seconds, someone will die in this one. And my one was like, Danny's character was like stalking me in the mall and stuff like that. This one here is Tooth Fairy. This is from producer Scott Jeffrey, and I've shot a bunch of stuff for his projects and a couple other ones that are coming soon. I'll let you guys know when they release. But this one was called Tooth Fairy, and this one, like, my character is they're like doing researching online where the characters is looking up like the Tooth Fairy and the legend of the Tooth Fairy, and they watch a YouTube video about me, like telling the legend of the Tooth Fairy and all that kind of stuff. This one here is the one I was mentioning. It's the new edition, this in print still, of Ghostquake. This one is from Mill Creek. So this one you guys can get on their website. This one's really easy to get, this edition. And this has 4 movies on here. But this one, though, like I said, this has the edited version. So some of the gore and stuff like that is edited out. It's still like a perfectly fine and everything like that, but it is cut up a little bit. So just keep that in mind with this one. This one here is one, that called Toxic Tutu, which stars, Mark Togler, who played the Melvin the Mop Boy in the Toxic Avenger, the first Toxic Avenger film. And this one was me and Wetmwe are both in this one. And this was like, my character was like a convention kind of reporter, and it's like has like a convention panel, and it's like Mark Togler's character, who, like I said, played the Melvin the Mop Boy in the original Toxic Avenger movie. It's kind of like him like kind of doing a documentary style movie, kind of parody on himself about where he was and where he disappeared for years, and like kind of his comeback to like doing conventions and all that kind of stuff. This is actually a very fun movie. Lots and lots of cameos, like a lot of horror cameos and stuff, like Lloyd Kaufman's in the movie. This one here, this is the Horror Pack exclusive version of President's Day, the Blu-ray edition. This is a movie that Dead Meat James talked about, and it was really so cool to hear him talk about this movie, and he gave me a great shout out in that video. And this one was like a slasher movie. This was filmed in 2009. I filmed this back when I was in Maryland still, and it's a really fun, people who are running for high school, president, class president, are getting killed off by someone wearing a Abraham Lincoln costume. It's like a really fun throwback slasher film. The next one here is, like I was mentioning, from Ron Carlson, Dead Ant. And this one has a great cast as well. This has Tom Arnold, Jake Busey, Sydney Sweeney, who's in tons and tons of stuff now. Sean Astin is in this movie. And this is basically, though, about this band that kind of was kind of successful like in the 80s and stuff. And they're trying to have like a comeback and doing a concert tour. And on the way there, though, they end up, doing this peyote, and then the person that they buy it from says, if you injure an animal or anything like that during this, terrible curses will come on you. And of course they did, and it ends up making these giant killer ants. And my character, though, is in the scene when they go to like the big concert scene, and I have a great ridiculous death scene when I die in a porta potty, and like some ridiculous lines and stuff in this one. This one here is a documentary, VHS Lives 2 Undead Format. This is all about like VHS collecting and physical media collecting, but mainly talking about physical media with VHS. And me and Danny Cinestalker are both in this one. This is the first one here, VHS Lives Shockumentary. This is the first one, and this one I believe is on like Tubi, and you guys can check on any streaming stuff to see if any of these particular ones are on them too. But that's, like I said, the first one. This one here is a Bride of Scarecrow, and this is from Scott Jeffrey as well, and Louisa Warren. And this is, you know, one of the ones where I shot something for as well, kind of talking about the history of Scarecrow and that kind of stuff. The next one here is from, Epic Pictures released this one, and this is Adam Rifkin's film director's cut. And I have a fun little, quick little cameo in this one in the strip club scene in this movie. This is back right when I started losing weight, like probably in the very beginning of, maybe like 2 months into losing weight. And this one here, but you see me pretty well. You see like a featured thing of me getting like these girls stripping for me, and then like a scene like in the bar when I'm like with the main characters in the background the whole time, and you see me like sort of sitting there and stuff like that. But this one's a fun, I always love Adam Rifkin's stuff as well. This one though, I don't know if you can still buy this one or not. This one is from Rio Lacour here, and if you guys want to message her on Facebook and see if she'll still sell a copy of this one. This is a movie that was so glad that finally got released. It's like a really fun movie that was shot back in Maryland. I think it was in 2008 or 2009 that we filmed this, and it stars Babette Bombshell. And it's basically, though, like I played like Babette Bombshell's husband in the movie, and I was like this real like redneck kind of guy, and it's just like a goofy zombie movie all set in a trailer park. I always really liked this one. I'm really glad too that it got, you know, a copy got released of this one. Like I said, I would message if you guys are interested in that one. You could message her about that one, because I don't think it's like been on like any websites or anything like that. So I showed that. Like Me here. This was one that I was really excited to be in. I haven't opened this one because I saw like a DVD of this one a while back, and it's also, this one's on some, I think this is on Shudder, some people were telling me. This movie though stars Addison Tomlin, I was saying her name, or Timlin, and Larry Festerden is in this movie. This was great though. This is like a real high art film, but in here though, the character has this video that she did that kind of goes viral, and I'm like talking about this. So like the director messaged me and asked if I would shoot a thing for this, like kind of like commentating on the video and stuff like that, so you see me in there. So that was one I was really excited to be included in. This one is Grindsploitation Trilogy. This is released by Troma. This is all done in like a grindhouse style movie. I can't remember which segment I was in, and I don't remember 100% sure what I did. I can't lie. Not 100% sure exactly. I don't always remember in some of them exactly what I did in them. And the next one here is a movie called Don't F in the Woods. This one got a lot of attention online and everything. In this one though, the one character, I have a voice cameo in that one. The one character is like calling her her brother, and then I'm the one doing the voice of the brother in that. So if you guys have seen that one, that's me doing that voice. This one here was like an anthology horror film called Frames of Fear. I do not remember for sure what I did in it. I cannot, I'll be honest, I don't remember what the scene was that I filmed for that particular one. This one here is from, a cult director, Donald Farmer, who's done lots and lots of stuff throughout the years. This one, in the movie though, there's like a killer cop, and like at the end of the movie they're like playing like news segments and stuff like that, and my character is talking about like the killer cop. And this one here was one that I was glad came out, called Another Superhero Movie. This was actually, might have been the first thing I filmed in 2010 when I first moved out here. I believe it was like one of the very first things. This is directed by Creeperson, and it's like I play like the behemoth character in this one. This is back when I was really heavy, and I'm wearing like this mask, and it's like kind of like a spoof parody, a superhero kind of movie. That's the kind of film this one was here. This one here was another anthology movie that was from the same director as the Frames of Fear. I don't remember for sure what I did in this one either, though. This one is called Ghoulish Tales. This one here was Predator World. This one was shot actually right here in near my house. This was right after I had my health scare, like back in 2014, right when I started losing weight, like probably 2 weeks into losing weight, maybe not even. This was actually shot here because I couldn't go to the location to film it because I was like in such a bad way because of the health thing. So that was filmed here. But this one is like a ship that ends up like crash landing on this alien planet, and my character is kind of the person in the ship who like you see on the TV telling people like, don't be afraid, everything's gonna be all right, there's supplies here and someone's coming, the rescue ship will be here soon. This one here, I don't think you can buy this one anymore, was called WTF. And this one was, I really like this movie. This is actually one of my favorite things that I've been in. I have a real small part in this, but I really like this movie. It's a really cool, a slasher film, throwback slasher movie. This has Perez Hilton is in this movie as well in a cameo. And I have like a quick scene in here, and like the party scene, I'm talking about like the main character and like going, oh, I really love her, and she's so beautiful and all this kind of stuff. This one here is Things Forest is from producer David Sterling. Danny the Sinistarkers is in this movie. Luna Meow's in this movie. You guys can message David Sterling, though, if you're interested in this one. This one here is Devil's Domain. This one has Michael Madsen in this movie. And this was basically about like this girl who's bullied really bad and like makes a pact with the devil essentially. And my character though plays like one of the school bullies in the school, and like it's like a really weird thing for me to be playing like a bully kind of guy. So like a really different kind of part. The other one here, let's see, is Witchcraft. Was this Witchcraft like 7? I can't remember what number this one was. It's called Witchcraft Hollywood Coven. But in that one though, I like play like that. It's like about making a movie, and my character is like works on the movie they're making. This one here, Death Pool. Here I have my name on the top for this one. This one is basically about this serial killer guy who's like killing women and killing them in pools. And like there's like a scene, 2 scenes in here, like when they go to like this guy who's like a porn star, and I play like this porn star, and I have this scene, it's like a really different kind of scene for me in this one, and like I play like a really weird kind of guy, like porn actor kind of guy. This one here, they didn't end up using the footage in the movie. It's called Easter Sunday. Like, they reference me in the movie. They say, oh, I was having a dream about Sean C. Phillips. But on here, though, because I kind of knew when I was filming the stuff for this, because I shot it here, I knew it was kind of like, I wasn't sure how they were going to use it for sure. And because it's kind of like me reviewing movies, and like a guy having a dream about it. But like the deleted scenes are all on there. And then, like I said, they reference me in the movie, too. This one here I was pretty excited about this because this is like a German horror movie called The Curse of Dr. Wolfenstein. This is released by Real Gore, from this company Real Gore, which is a subsidiary of Cult Epics. And this is like a super gory movie. And the movie though, and it's all in German. The movie though, they're watching like a commercial on the TV, watching TV, and a commercial comes on, and it's a commercial that that I filmed with talking about like stains and like stinky underwear and dirty underwear and stuff. This one here, Krampus 2. This one actually was another one that was in Walmart's. And in this one though, I play like a newscaster in here talking about like the killer Krampus. This one here, Blood Brothers. This is from Jose Prendes, who also directed The Haunting of Whaley House. And this one, I'm like in the movie theaters, and the main characters are like talking in the theater, and I'm in there like yelling at them, telling them to be quiet and stuff like that, and later that's going to come back to get me. This one here, Night of the Living Deb. This one, this is a fun zombie comedy film, and the main actress in here, I was always a fan of her because she was in, Stranger with Candy. So the fact that she was in this movie, I thought was really cool. Ray Weiss is in this movie, and this one, I'm on here like commentating on the news, talking about the zombie outbreak and that kind of stuff. This one here, I'm not in this movie, but my review is on here, so I put this in this collection. This one called Scavenger Killers, and this is like a movie with Eric Roberts, and this is like a really crazy, weird movie. And then I have here, Around the Country, which you can still get this one on Amazon, I believe. You can still order it on there because it's like a burn-on-demand one. But it was the kind of the travel vlog movie when me and MJ were, driving cross country to get out here. So I don't know. So, like I said, this was always a fun thing just to kind of look back on the trip and everything. And of course, out and about Las Vegas. This with me, Gabe, and Brendan going to Vegas. 60 Seconds to Die. This is the first 60 Seconds to Die movie. And this one, I think this was a segment in here. Was me and Danny's, and like we were doing like a prank kind of thing, and Danny ends up choking to death in that one. And then Banshee, this was actually the first movie ever that I did in March of 2008. So that was the very first thing I had ever done. And the producers messaged me, and we're kind of talking about how they wanted to change the ending a little bit, like add a little bit to the ending. And they ended up adding a scene with me and MJ, and we ended up picking up the main character in this. And I don't want to say what happens if you haven't seen the movie, but that was fun because, like I said, that was the very first thing I had ever done. This one, Grave Encounters 2, this movie actually opens with my review of Grave Encounters 1. I knew ahead of time, though, that they were going to use it, so when I was reviewing Grave Encounters 1, I knew that they were going to be using that. I kind of was like, they mentioned something about that they probably would be using it somehow in the Grave Encounters 2. I didn't know how or where in the movie, but it's kind of fun. Like, the first person you see in this movie is me reviewing the first one, so that was kind of cool. This one here is a German release of a series here called Nature, and this one here, the character is like out in the woods doing a kind of like a travel kind of thing, survival kind of show, and he like talks to people while he's out in the woods. This one was called Slaughter Weekend here, and this one has Ron Jeremy's in here, Lloyd Kaufman, and I had this funny scene in here. It's like a horror movie with Ron Jeremy, when I'm talking to Ron Jeremy about like what it's like how to get into adult films, and I want to be like an adult film star, and it's like really, really wacky kind of stuff. This one here is the Showtime series that Adam Rifkin directed. This is kind of the spin-off of his movie that he did called Look, and this is Look Season 1, and this has, who is the star of this one? Colton Hayes, who went on to be in Arrow and a bunch of different stuff. And I'm in the very last episode of this show as like a vlogger. And this was filmed before I moved out here. I came out here when I was on vacation in, sorry the light went out. I'll put it back on in a second. It starts to overheat. I was doing that in the last video, but I play like a vlogger, and I'm kind of like witnessing what's going on in the restaurant. Well, I just put the phone in the refrigerator for a second to cool it down. This one here, you cannot get this one anymore. So if any of you guys have this is a rare one, Demon of Lathron. I'm not going to get into the whole reason why it's not sold anymore, but this one, though, was actually pretty fun. Me and MJ were in this one, and we were like guys that work at like a strip club, and like it's like kind of like a demon kind of thing going on, and we end up going in the house, and it's just like some really wacky stuff. This one here, this is the DVD edition here, President's Day. This one you guys can get still on Amazon and on eBay and that kind of stuff. And you see me here on the back with my face crossed out. But like I was saying, this is a really fun throwback slasher film. This is a movie here by Chris Seaver, Filthy McNasty 4, Carnal Holocaust. This one I'm throughout the whole movie. This was shot in Rochester, New York, and it's like a goofy comedy horror film. It's kind of about like these sex demons that like try and like help this one girl, but they kind of have all these bad things that they're doing as well. And like me and my friends in this one are trying to like stop these demons. This one here is L.A. Maniac. This one, what did I film in this one? This was back in I think 2009. I shot this before I moved. And like in the movie, there's like the killer and stuff, and he's like watching some TV, and you see this weird stuff I shot for it. This one here was Adam the Amazing Zombie Killer, and this one here I play like a TV preacher in this one. But this was like a fun zombie film. Who put this out? This company called Whacked Movies. I don't know if they're around anymore. They put out some fun releases though. This one here, this is the same situation as Demon of Lathron. This one can't get sold anymore either, and this one's like called The Severed End. Like I said, if you guys have either of those ones, you're really lucky to have those ones because they're really rare now. And this one though, like I play like one of the main characters with MJ, and we're like these weird, bumbling sons of this guy who like runs a bed and breakfast. The guy looks exactly like my dad, like he's like a total dead ringer of my dad. You see me and MJ here in the back, and basically though, like the bed and breakfast though, like the people that come there, they kill them and like eat them and stuff like that. They're like cannibals and everything. This one here, Red River, is there's like a scene in here when they're watching TV, and I play like on the commercial in here. This one character I play a lot, like Max Butler, and doing like stain stuff and that kind of stuff. This one here is Mr. Bricks. This one was shot in New York City at this kind of cool German bar that was right near Troma Studios. And this one here was me and MJ in here, and I'm playing the bartender in this movie. This is like a musical horror film. This is actually a very, very fun movie. Witch's Brew here. This is one I really like. You guys, this one you guys can still get too. All these ones, for the most part, you guys can find on Amazon and all that kind of stuff. Witch's Brew here. This is a fun one about these guys that make like micro brews, micro beer, and they end up accidentally running over this cat who's a witch, and then they put a curse on the brew and like the beer, and anyone who drinks it dies in these terrible ways. And I'm in here playing like this goofy like kind of guy, like a rap kind of guy, and like things don't go well for me. This one here, Truth or Dare 3 Deadly Dares. In this one, I filmed this in Kentucky, a little cameo while I was driving cross country, and like I end up doing like a dare and end up like I think I kill MJ's character in that one. What was this one here? A screener copy of the Dreadful Halloween special. This was a from the director of The Lashman, which hopefully The Lashman finally gets a release soon, because I would love for everyone to see that one. But in here though, they like it's like a TV special, and I can't remember exactly what I filmed in it. I know Wet Movie is in it as well. And this one here, Blood Orgy at Beaver Lake. Like this one, I don't want to lie, I don't have the slightest clue what I did in that. I don't remember at all. I don't know. This one here, Mary Horror. This one, I don't know where you can buy this one. I would message Ryan Scott Weber, Ryan on Facebook about this one. But this one was about like the legend of Mary Horror, and me and MJ are in this one. This is actually the last movie that we did together, and this is from the 2000 and I think it was 11. I think early 2011, and it was in New Jersey, and we play like guys that are like grave diggers, like digging up the bodies or something like that. Dracula's Blood Orgy of the Damned. I think this one has me and Wet Movie in this one, and something that we filmed, and it was like him like biting me, or I'm a vampire and I attack him or something like that. And this one here, Girls Gone Dead. This is one of my favorite ones that I've done, or one of my top favorite ones. And this one has like Jerry the King Lawler in here, Linnea Quigley, Ron Jeremy, Sal the Stockbroker, Beetlejuice from Howard Stern Show. And this was a really fun slasher film here, throwback slasher film. I have a fun role in here as the one guy at the bar. The girl meets him, and we start making out, and there's like a crazy scene in here, and it doesn't go well for me. That's all I'll say. Treasure Chest of Horrors 2. This is an anthology horror film, and in this one I have a bunch of different short films on here, like a Don and Murph short on here, a couple of different ones on here. This is, if you guys want like to have like some of these old shorts that I did, and there's also a new one on here too. Or a new one that I shot just for this one, about like my brother that's like really obsessed with like clothes, and he doesn't get this hat that he wants. This is the second movie that I ever did, Assault of the Sasquatch. This one played back on TV all the time on the Chiller channel. That channel isn't around anymore, but it was kind of like the sister channel to the Sci-Fi channel, and this was picked up by Chiller, so it was on there all the time. They used to play this back in the day when the channel was around. But this is like about a Bigfoot that gets loose in the city, and it kind of has like a Assault on 13th Precinct kind of vibe to it. And my character is like a guy, me and MJ are in this one as like people that are really into Sasquatches and Bigfoot, and we end up finding out about Bigfoot. We're going throughout the city trying to find him and everything like that. This one here, Treasure Chest of Horrors. This was an anthology film. And this one, I think this had either Vampire's Lust or Lust for Blood, the short film that I made. This one here, Dysmorphia. This was an anthology horror film. And me and Wet Movie have a segment on this one. The segment was on here when we lock ourselves into the bathroom, and we have like a small amount of food. We have to survive off of it. Theater of Deranged. This one, I think this one had this is an anthology horror film as well. I think this one, yeah, this one has Lust for Blood. This one was a really fun short that I made with MJ back in like 2007 or something like that, and it's got included on this anthology one. This one here, Zombie Babies. This was shot in West Virginia in 2010, right before I came out here. And this is like about like an abortion clinic, and the zombies come back from the dead. And it's like I'm one of the main people in this one, with Ruby LaRocca, who was in a lot of like horror films and stuff like that. And this is a really fun, crazy movie. I could do like a whole video talking about like the filming of this one, because it was so hot where we filmed this one. It was shot in this like abandoned old hotel, and it was like in the summer in West Virginia, and it was like 100 degrees plus outside, and the place like really hardly had any air conditioning at all, and only had like this one unit that had it. So it was like people were passing out, and all kind of crazy stuff was going on. This one here is Bloody Mary. This is the 3D edition here, because it was actually shot in 3D. This is from producer David Sterling, and this one here, I play the cop in this one. I kind of like the goofy cop security guard at the music building, and so basically about like the legend of Bloody Mary coming back and in this like recording studio. This one here, Porkchop 2. This one, actually my whole family's in this one. We shot some stuff for this. We're all like on the news broadcast about my sister going missing, about like this is a slasher film, and at the end of the movie, like my whole family is in it as well, getting killed and stuff like that. This one here I always really like. This is from Chris Seaver. This is a comedy film here called Geek War. Sorry, the light went off again. I'm gonna have to cool it down again. But this one here was by Chris Seaver, called Geek War, and this was about like this guy that wanted to find a VHS tape, and there was this VHS tape that he always used to see in this comic book store, but it was all this money. And he finally saved up to buy it, and he went in there to buy it. This other person buys it right from under him, and it's basically he has to try and figure out how to get it back, and it's a really fun, I always love the stuff that Chris Seaver does, and this is this really fun movie. On this one, I actually play the Don character, a version of the Don character. So if you guys want to see me doing like Don in a movie, like a whole movie, that character, definitely pick this one up. I don't talk about this one enough. This is a very, very fun movie. And the next one here is a movie called Chillerama. This was an anthology horror film, which is from director Adam Green, who directed the Hatchet films, Joe Lynch, who directed Mayhem and Wrong Turn 2, Adam Rifkin, Tim Sullivan, who directed 2001 Maniacs. And this one here in the Adam Rifkin segment, Wadzilla, you see me in here real quick in the scene, when everyone's like gathered around watching the TV and stuff like that. You see me in there real quick. This one here, Blue Dream. This one, you see me in here, but my stuff mainly got taken out of this movie because my character was supposed to talk backwards, and it was like totally impossible. Like I couldn't do it at all. It was like I had to like actually say it backwards for real, and it was like a nightmare. But it's like it was a fun experience though, because I got to like meet James Duvall on the film, and he was a really nice guy, who plays Frank in Donnie Darko, and he was in one of my favorite movies, or one of my movies that I really like called Doom Generation. A whole lot of different movies. Dominic Swain is in the movie. As well as Richard Riley is in here, Pollyanna McIntosh, who is on The Walking Dead, Noah Hathaway from Neverending Story. So I was kind of there with everybody in this scene. You don't see me in the scene because they didn't use the line in there, but you see me in there like a couple other times though. This one here called this is Ghostquake. This is the 3D Blu-ray of the film here. It was like translated into 3D. And this one here is the Haunting in Whaley House. This one here I know is on Tubi when I was doing the video going through there. This one here is directed by Jose Prendes, and I'm at the beginning of the movie, and it's like me and a group of these friends are like messing around, and then we throw like a brick at the window of the Whaley house, and it doesn't go well for us. And then this one here is Cesar Nato's Deadly Xmas. This one has Darren Miller, Linnea Quigley, Brink Stevens, Joe Estevez, Felissa Rose. And this one here was, my character is like this director. The one character goes to like try and be an actor and be in this movie, and my character is like the director of the whole thing. And then Fat Planet. This is one I always like. This one is on a lot of stuff to watch, like Tubi. I'm one of the main characters in this one. This is like a whole planet of everyone is overweight on the planet, and they end up, kidnapping this personal trainer to try and like shape up the town, shape up the planet, and help them lose weight. And I'm in here playing like the goofy jester of the town for like the king and everything. And this one here is Vampire Boys 2. This one was actually able to rent at Blockbuster. So I ended up like buying a copy of Blockbuster, when they were closing. And this one, it's like a really quick thing in here of me like at a restaurant as like the waiter, and then one guy's like, "Can I have a pen?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay, you can have the pen." It's a real like goofy scene. This one here is Return to Nukem High, aka Volume 2. This one here at Comic-Con, Lloyd Kaufman filmed a scene with me melting down. So in here, one of the guys from Impractical Jokers is like on the news segment, and they're like playing scenes of people melting down, and they have a scene of me at Comic-Con melting down that Lloyd filmed. This one here is Camp Blood 8. And this one I play like a survivalist living out in the middle of the woods. If you guys want to copy this one, you can get it from David Sterling. In this one, like I play like a survivalist out in the middle of the woods, and I'm like kind of like throughout the movie. This one here is Restricted Area. This one I've talked about a lot. This one has been available in Walmart, and it has me. I'm in this one along with Danny the Cinestalker, and we're in the first 10 minutes of this movie about these goofy guys that are trying to get to this concert out in the middle of the woods, and like we kind of get lost, and like somebody's coming after us to kill us. This one here, this one is all in German. This is called #funnyface, and this is from the director Marcel Waltz, who's directed that movie coming out called Blind, a bunch of different films. But this one here, at the end of the movie, I'm on there like in a scene done through Skype. This one here is Kung Fu, and well, I'll let you guys read it. But this one here, the one character like gets kidnapped, and I end up like giving like the orders and stuff like that, because when the person's kidnapped, they're like watching something on the TV, and it's like me like telling them what to do and stuff like that. Camp Massacre. This is like at a fat camp, and I have a film and scene in here of me like promoting this all-you-can-eat buffet. That was one thing that I filmed back when I was still heavy. This one here is from Mill Creek. You guys can get this set from their website and everything. This is called the Shark Bait Collection. This is one I was so excited about when I heard they were releasing this collection, because it has Ghost Shark, which I'm in, and that was a sci-fi original movie, and that one never got a US DVD or Blu-ray or release or anything like that. So I was so glad that it was finally getting a physical release. So if you guys want to see this one, I'm in here riding a jet ski, and I'm like one of the main kids in the beginning. I'm only in like the first like 35 minutes or so in the movie, but I'm one of the main kids in the film. This one here, Jersey Shore Massacre. This one in the movie though, this was shot in Florida. I went to Florida to do this, and it's from the same producer who did Girls Gone Dead, and it's basically though like a slasher film, set in the Jersey Shore. But in the movie though, the characters watch this horror movie on the TV called Fat Camp Massacre, and it's like this movie, this like slasher film that I filmed this stuff for in Florida for it. And on the sorry, I went off again. On the Blu-ray though, it has the 10-minute Fat Camp Massacre short on there. This one here is Kill Granny Kill, and this one this was like me and MJ in here. And no, was this me and MJ? No, this was me in here, like doing something on the news, talking about something that happened to somebody. This one here is one called Scarred. Now I'm just gonna leave the light off because there's only a few more things to show, and it keeps on overheating when I leave it on. This is one I think this might be on, I believe this is on Tubi as well, and this is like a slasher movie. In the beginning of the movie though, the character is talking about trying to put together, like make a horror film, and he's like talking to me over Skype, and we were talking about how, I bet we can get Ron Jeremy, and I bet we can do this, and it'd be great, and all that kind of stuff. This one here is Grand Auto Theft. L.A. This is from producer David Sterling, and me and Wetmore are both in this one. And like I think like I play like a weird drug dealer in this or something, and Wetmore's like trying to buy drugs from me, something like that. Caesar and Otto's Paranormal. Halloween. This one has a great cast. This has like Tiffany Shepis in here, Felissa Rose, Beverly Randolph, and I play like a money launderer in this one. In this particular one, this one MILFs versus Zombies. This one was shot in this room as well. About like me like in my DVD room during a zombie outbreak. This is actually a really fun movie. This one here, the Hospital 2. I believe in this one, it was like, I'm in like the news segment in here, talking about like the escaped patient, or something along those lines on that one. And then we have Camp Blood 4 and 5, which are both from director Dustin Ferguson, who I've worked with a lot on projects, and we have a bunch of different stuff coming up that will be coming out, releasing all that kind of stuff. But this is Camp Blood 4 and Camp Blood 5 here, and these ones you guys can get from David Sterling as well. I think some of them too are on Tubi. And this one here never had a U.S. release, a physical media release, but it's a region-free release from Germany called Nazi Dawn. And this is one I'm like throughout this movie. This is back when it was really heavy, and I was like going to like this party and like I meet this girl there and stuff like that. This is actually a really fun movie. I actually really like this one, and I feel like hardly anybody saw this movie. It's one of those movies that kind of totally like went on the radar and that no one really saw. And I do have a couple other ones up here to show as well. VHS Nasty. This is the third film in the VHS Massacre. VHS Lives. Series there, and this one was all on Video Nasties films. And this one here, I believe this is going to be coming out soon on Blu-ray. This is like an early copy of this one called Spine Chiller, and this is like in this one you see like a really quick scene of me on the TV playing Count Dudula, and it's like me as like Count Dracula, and I think it's coming out. I can't remember. I forgot totally the company name, but when it releases though, I'll make sure that you guys know. Terror Vertex. This one here, I think this might be on Amazon to watch. And this one I have like a scene on the news, like as a newscaster. Strange Vibes. This one here, the director of this one is actually working on. This is from Nick Box, and he's actually working right now on a documentary on DVD and Blu-ray collecting. That I'm going to be interviewed for that one. But this one was like a guy going to like a job interview, and I'm like the guy like and asking the questions and that kind of stuff in that. This one here, Giantess Attack. This one was actually shot here at my house the same time that we did the what was the one, the Disaster? No, the one, I can't even remember what I was saying, which one that was. The Predator World. But this one was like about like these giant women that are like huge, like Attack of the 50-Foot Woman kind of movie. And like my character gets like picked up by one of the women and like carried. And it's a really goofy, fun scene. These ones here, this one here, I only have like discs of this one called Fell, which is from Marcus Cook, and I know I have some like voice work in this one. The Occultist. This one I need to get a real release of this one. This one I have like Donna Murphy at the end like reviewing The Occultist in the movie. Let's see, what was this one here? This one was another copy of The Occultist. This one here, Vampire Club 3D, which hopefully someday this gets to have a physical release, as well as one here called The Writers. And other than that, though, that's pretty much everything here. So, like, anyway, though, guys, like I said, I try to explain a little bit about all these ones here and give you kind of an idea what they all are. So anyway, though, guys, that was my video showing you all the films that I have copies of that I have acted in. Coming up, when all things clear up, with everything, there will be a bunch of new projects coming up that I'm going to be acting in soon, like stuff like Clown Motel 2, Strix, Crave Roots of Evil, Butcher's Bluff, as well as a whole bunch of other ones coming up as well. So be on the lookout for a lot of other ones in the future, like I said, once all things clear up. And like I said, too, at the beginning of this video, if you guys have seen any of the movies movies, though. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of them. Let me know if you guys, if you guys end up renting any of them on Vudu or any of the streaming services, or watch any of the ones that are available for free on Tubi and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, though, guys, thanks so much for all the support. And if, like I said, if you guys enjoy these videos, definitely give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys later.